I'm back. Road Rants for the Matrixx and Rhodes show. Well, it seems like that even when they get representation, they're not such a fan of representation. I mean, because no matter which way you slice it, technically Jeffrey Dahmer was a member of them L's and them G's and them B's and them T's and them Q's. He was a member of that community. Right, wrong, indifferent, whatever. Oh, wait a minute. Your community's only supposed to be represented by technically people that were perfect? Is that what we're hearing right now? Because I don't know if you've seen the amount of drag shows that that community is having in front of children. I don't think I'm going to feel bad about this. I'm just keeping it real here. Call me crazy, but yeah, I don't think my feelings are hurt that they decided to slap this label on this content. Netflix, of course, bent both knees on this, however. This is the blaze. Netflix removes LGBTQ tag from Jeffrey Dahmer biopic following backlash per report. But he was a member of that community, whether they like it or not. It just is what it is. I mean, come on. Netflix has reportedly accommodated the demands, we call that bending both knees, demands of social media users who recently became enraged. I believe they're looking for triggered there, after the streaming service giant tagged a biopic about serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer as, quote, LGBTQ content. On September 21st, Netflix debuted Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, which, by the way, I heard is pretty good. I haven't watched it yet. I hear it's kind of graphic. I don't know if I want to watch it, frankly. A 10-part fictional dramatization of the life, confession, arrest, conviction of Jeffrey Dahmer. Got to tell you, I've got a bad cold. Dahmer pled guilty by reason of insanity to murdering 16 men and underage boys in Milwaukee and Ohio between 78 and 91. Though a jury later found him to be mentally competent, he was charged with but not convicted of another murder. Under the pretense of taking nude photos of them and otherwise engaging with them sexually, Dahmer lured most of his victims to his residence or the residence belonging to his grandmother. Then he drugged them, strangled them, and dismembered his body. Now, the entire next paragraph I'm going to skip, but let's put it this way. He did some awful shit. Most of Dahmer's victims were gay and racial or ethnic minorities. Ostensibly, because Dahmer was a homosexual and most of his victims identified as members of the gay community, Netflix tagged the series as LGBTQ content. Well, it just sort of is what it is now, isn't it? Many on social media then complained about the association between Dahmer and the LGBTQ community. Why? Why? He was a part of that community. He is associated. Look, I mean, you know, we got to own some of the worst people in history as straight folks, right? You guys can't own Dahmer? I mean, really? Imagine clicking on LGBTQ category and this is what you get. Imagine being triggered by it, you twat. I mean, come on. If I stay in my lane, absolutely tell me. But anyone else think it's pretty gross that Netflix to list Dahmer under the hashtag LGBTQ? Notice how you had to put a hashtag there, especially when the true crime tag would have worked. Well, why don't we add the true crime tag and leave the LGBTQ? I'll raise you a true crime tag and we'll leave the other. That way you won't get left out, right? One TikTok user is called at Liz the Lisbo. Wow. Also asked, why the F did Netflix tag the series as LGBT? This is not representation we're looking for, even if it is technically true. Dahmer said, y'all are idiots. Come on now. You're literally saying This is just not what we want to be associated with, although it is true. Okay. Again, we don't get to pick and choose. I'm pretty sure Al Capone was straight. Oh, I'm outraged that Al Capone's included in my straight community content. Come on. You don't get to pick and choose. I guess you do, because Netflix bent both knees. They removed the LGBTQ tag, though it is unclear when they did it. A family member of Dahmer's victims has also taken to social media to explain that the docuseries, like Dahmer Monster, constantly re-traumatizes victims' families. I absolutely feel for those families, but at the same time, I'm just going to say don't watch it. On Thursday, Eric Perry, a cousin of Rita Isbell, the oldest sister of Ariel Lindsay, who Dahmer's murdered in 1991, tweeted, "I'm not telling anyone what to watch. I know true crime media is a huge thing, but if you're actually curious about the victims, my family are pissed about this show. It's re-traumatizing over and over again, and for what? How many movies, shows, and documentaries do we need? Like recreating my cousin having an emotional breakdown in court in the face of a man who tortured and murdered her brother is wild." Wild, he added. Yeah, I think we all know what scene they're talking about there. Dahmer was convicted in 92, given 16 life sentences. In November 94, fellow inmate Christopher Scarver murdered Dahmer while he was performing his work duties. Scarver also confessed to bludgeoning another inmate, Jesse Anderson. Scarver, a schizophrenic who had already been convicted of murder, was given 2 additional life sentences for the death of Dahmer and Anderson. According to reports, Dahmer was a born-again Christian and was baptized into the Church of Christ before his death. Yikes. Okay. Well, give him a pass, right? No. Come on. Stop it. My God. I mean, look, I'm as religious as the next guy, but that born-again situation's a little bit of a hard sell for me, right? Pretty much. Thanks, Hannibal Lecter. Wow. Unbelievable. So we're okay. We're okay. As long as the representation is right, you better not leave us out. But we, as a group, as a community, don't look at... I'm straight as an arrow, so I don't mean we, but I'm talking about the LGBTQs. But we are perfect. And any content where they're the hero, or they come out smelling like a rose, or they're playing the tambourine, we want to be included in that content. But by God, you better remove that tag if it's anything negative. I mean, John just did a video about the fact that I guess a gay person died in House of the Dragon and people are triggered over that. You don't think gay people don't die in real life? Why should they be excluded from death in any kind of content? I don't understand. You want equal representation. That means you get the good and the bad. I hate to break it to you, but as a straight dude, I don't get to pick and choose this shit. So why should you? I mean, come on. Stop it. Wow. But Netflix cowered down. Netflix is trying to sort of course correct its situation, but they still do shit like this. There's still a large portion of Netflix that's just scared of anything to do with anything related to social representation, anything that might be triggered by, that triggers people on Twitter or the TikTok or any of these other places that I just can't stand. I don't know. Tell me what you think, Matrixx and Roadshow fans. I have not seen this series. I don't know that I want to watch it. I watched something a while back on Dahmer somewhere. And it was a documentary. It wasn't this though. I don't know what this is. This has been getting a lot of fire though. I have heard that. I've seen where a lot of people have been talking about it. They mentioned it on the news the other day. So it's pretty big if it gets all the way to the news. Right? Because the mainstream news is perfect. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Make sure you use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word will get you 25% off. Go get them right now.